Good day, weather technology students. In this video, we're going to talk about how we can take a Python notebook file, convert it into a Python script file, clean it up a little bit, modify it to our heart's content, and then run it from the command line. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with an old Surface notebook. And so I just picked one here, my new Surface map that I had created at some point before. And so this contains all the basic elements I need to make a simple surface map with air temperature, which looks really good. I may need to modify some things about it, but I'm first going to save this off as a script file. And it's actually pretty easy to do that. All we have to do is, if you have your notebook file open, go to Export Notebook As, and then we want to export notebook as executable script. Now, for me, when this does it, it pops up with where am I going to save this. So I'm going to go ahead and save it in my 130 directory structure that I have. If you don't get this box, it means it's likely just automatically saved to your downloads directory. And so then go ahead and you'll need to find it there eventually. So once you're done saving it, you'll have this blank thing that you can just close. And that's all well and good, but the problem is it's not going to be up in the Jupyter Hub environment. There's a really easy way, though, to get it up there. And it's this upload button. And so this up arrow here in the kind of side finder window, we're going to click upload. And that you're going to need to navigate to where your file saved. This may be your downloads directory. And I'm going to bring up my new surface map.py file. And I'm going to upload it. And it'll take maybe just a few seconds to upload. But then I'll have it here in my side window, and I'm going to double click and it'll open up so I can edit it. You can also open up a terminal window to edit it as well if you wanted to do that. Launch a terminal window, cd into your working directory or wherever you uploaded it to, and then you could vi my_surfacemap.py. This one doesn't have the nice coloration and stuff like that, so I'm not going to use vi in this instance. But here, we've got a nice file. It's contained all of our kind of comments and our markdown code, but it also has a lot of extraneous information that we want to go ahead and delete. So whenever you convert a notebook file to a Python file, you're going to always want to open it up and clean it up. And so we can remove excess things, like this is just saying that was in a particular cell that it had run. Let's go ahead and delete it because we don't really need it. These extra 3 pound signs we don't really need. Right, so we're just going to clean up our script so that we only contain the pieces that are needed. For example, we're not using this line, so let's go ahead and delete the line. Don't need it. Great. Then we're going to delete this last one as well. A lot of extra lines here, just going to clean up some of those. All right, so now I have my basic script that I started with before. But I want to make some modifications. For example, I want to do something closer to today's date. So I'm going to change this to February the 1st at 12 UTC using the current surface data. So that should all work because I've got my F string in here. It's going to plot some air temperatures, but I want to modify my save because I don't want to have to go in here and every time change this date. So I want to use my date time variable to help. So I want to replace this 2021-01-21. And so to do that, I need to use the curly brackets to bring in my date variable. But then I need to use some formatting. And so I know that %y, capital Y, gives me 4-digit year. %lowercase n gives me the 2-digit month. %lowercase d will give me the 2-digit day. And so that will replace that whole piece. I can also replace the hour with underscore, because it's just going to be used as an underscore, %H to give me the hour. And then delete that since I don't need that. This is using then that date time function with then formatting strings using these % things that we can look up in our date time information. There is a video on using the datetime functionality to hone up on that if you want. And so then I can go ahead and save this file. So this is all well and good. So I've made these changes. Now I want to go back and use this script. And so ls-ltr shows me that I modified it recently. Python space my new surface map.py using the tab function for autocomplete purposes. Go ahead and run it. And it's just kind of sitting here because it's working. It's probably going to get that surface data and process that surface data. And then once it finishes, it should get me back to the command prompt. And again, remember when we ran this in our surface, or in our notebook, it took a little bit. If I do it ls-ltr, we see we now have our new surface underscore plot 2021-0201 underscore 12 UTC. So I replaced in my script here, right? If I scroll down, this, right, changed using that datetime function to be this name, which is beautiful and has now also appeared in my side screen here. And if I go ahead and choose the second one here, this is going to be for that February 1st data. We see that at the time I ran this, used 12 UTC data, and this morning, from the day I was running this, was 28 degrees Fahrenheit in Valparaiso, Indiana. So it's pretty easy to go back and forth, to start something and develop something in a notebook, and then to make it over into a script now that will be maybe more useful. You know, maybe I could even modify this to take the current time and then populate the year, month, and day based on the current time to then be able to read the proper file here. Would be a fun way to go ahead and do that. We could also switch this around and use archive data, for example, by using a different notebook as a starting point, and any other machinations, adding other things to plot, and so on. Scripts are really useful because then we can just run it via the command line and have it output for us in the end. That's it for this video on converting from a notebook file to a Python script, cleaning it up, and then running it. And that's all. We'll see you next time.